Welcome, friends, to this solar eclipse pick-a-pile reading. This will be for June 21st, the solar eclipse new moon in Cancer. Lots of big energy. Seems to be a theme as of late with a lot of these planetary aspects that we are experiencing. And though we did experience in the beginning of June a lunar eclipse, I feel the potency of the solar eclipse is going to be tremendous, given that it is with a new moon, and it also is falling on a global axis point, which is a highly charged point in the cosmic sky. So there's a lot of configuration that's happening universally within the 3D and the 5D. And so what better time to do a pick-a-pile reading for my viewers to help you feel into these energies. The solar eclipse, June 21st, is also going to be with a hard aspect to Saturn, okay? And we've been feeling a lot of this energy with Saturn. It's all about self-discipline, right? It's Capricorn energy, action-oriented, but very disciplined, very practical, right? We want to act with integrity, with passion, focused, right? We don't want to be scattered and all over the place. And within these transformations that we're experiencing on a micro and a macro level, it can get very chaotic, especially with a lot of the retrogrades, you know, and just given this action that's taking place around us and within us, like I said, micro and macro level. We have to be disciplined, okay? We have to take time to focus on what is going on within. It's a tremendous time for us all to find out who we are. Be the initiator and the observer, okay? So take that into consideration before going into this pick-a-pile reading, okay? Freedom versus restriction, right? When we think of Saturn, there's a little more restrictions, right? It's more pragmatic, more rules, more limitations, which can serve us. But we also, with this solar eclipse, want to experience freedom, liberation, right? Initiation, new cycles. Especially with this global axis point, it's all about new timelines, new dimensions, and we're seeing this massively surrounding us, right? So we have to find the balance between both of those, freedom versus restriction, not necessarily versus, but freedom and restriction, and how do those flow within us. So set your intentions with any new moon, right? Cleansing and purifying. But with this pick-a-pile, really start looking a little bit deeper about who you are. What do you believe? What lessons are you learning? What lessons are you in the process of learning? Or what lessons have you learned? This is what Saturn is asking you, and what this solar eclipse is going to show you and initiate you into. Breathe in the winds of change that have graced your life. They have been harsh. It's been harsh, like I said, very intense, but they have also been helping to open you up, to deepen you, and to enrich you into who you are. And then we have this Cancer energy, right? So to top it all off, we're hypersensitive, right? And this Cancerian energy is very emotional, very watery. So again, balance within our emotions, not acting out of impulse, really stepping into an alignment, right? It's all about stepping into that alignment, who you are, stepping into that power, and giving yourself time to calibrate to that, okay? It doesn't happen overnight. But with the solar eclipse, there is an acceleration if you really sit with this energy. So I ask you now to pick a pile. And within these cards, I hope this helps you to understand what it is that you need to be learning, who you are, what you're manifesting, what you're setting your intentions on, okay? So let's get into it. Pile 1, we have the obsidian stone for pile 1. Pile 2, we have the agate. Pile 2. Pile 3, we have the tiger's eye. Pile 3 is tiger's eye. So I'm going to ask you now to pick your pile. Pile 1, obsidian. Pile 2, agate. Pile 3, tiger's eye. Focus your intention on what pile fits you, and we're going to dive right in here. All right, welcome pile 1 to your solar eclipse reading. Solar eclipse, new moon, new you, right? You picked the obsidian stone. One of my favorite stones. Protection is of importance to you during this time. Knowing that you are always protected and really feeling that truth and knowing that truth within you, right? We're going to see what this energy surrounding you is bringing forth to you, right? Like I said, who are you? What lessons are you learning? What intentions are you setting? What energies are you stepping out of? What energies are you stepping into? So let's see for pile 1. We have air, Gemini. Wow. Okay, so you might be dealing with, or you are an air sign. We have here, this is water energy. This is it's a 14 from my Dreams of Gaia deck. Heart chakra. Beginnings. Gaslighting. And then from my 70 elemental, we have 5 of fire, the lovers, which is Gemini energy, and strength. Wow. Okay. So if you are a Gemini or you have Gemini in your chart, it's just a little more reassurance that this pile is for you. Okay. So let me feel into the energies of this pile for pile 1. So lots of air energy, lots of thinking, lots of thoughts. I am sensing that it's taking you a lot of strength to get through your thoughts at this time. We have the strength card here, the lovers with the 5 of fire. There is conflicting thoughts here with the 5 of fire. This can be a group of people. This can be just within your own head. But nonetheless, it is conflict of some sort. And the reason why I'm sensing more of conflict is because I see this gaslighting card here. So maybe you find yourself around someone you love, friend, coworker, intimate partnership, someone that's just in your surroundings that's gaslighting you. Or maybe there's someone around you that feels that you're gaslighting them. And when I think of gaslighting, it's a mental, thoughts, words. That's very much Gemini air energy. So you very much could be dealing with, like I said, you could be a Gemini or dealing with a Gemini. This is kind of like mind trickery, manipulation, reverse psychology. Okay, making sure that you are not projecting onto others your thoughts, your feelings at this time. Trying your best to go within and think about what you're projecting out into the world. Is it with good intention or bad intentions, right? We can manifest from a place of lack and fear, which only creates more lack and fear. We don't want to bring others into our mess is kind of what I'm getting from this off the bat. We're going to dive a bit deeper here. There's a lot of opening I see with this heart chakra. You simply could be dealing with a Gemini, but the Lover's card can also represent a choice. A choice of stepping out of your head and into your heart. No longer wanting to be in conflict between both. Because we do find ourselves, especially with this air Gemini energy, to be very much in your head. And you have to be able to bring it down to your heart space. That's one lesson. I myself am a Gemini. One lesson I can speak forth on is that integration, right? The polarity within all of us. And we have our strong suits, each of the astrological signs. And one of Gemini's core lessons is really coming down to their heart space and getting out of their head. You know, it can be a very powerful place to be in your head. You know, the intellect, the thinkers, the movers, you know, the philosophers, you know. But there's this deepening here that I'm sensing for you, Pile 1, of really stepping into your heart. You have the heart chakra here. Opening your heart. No longer projecting or allowing others to project onto you with this gaslighting card. And a lot of the time when I think of gaslighting, it really, it's on you to understand what that is and what side of the coin you're on, right? Sometimes we don't even realize when we're projecting onto other people. It can be very innocent, right? It can be as simple as, you know, a belief system that you might hold. And though it might be very strongly tied to your belief, you can't force others against their own free will, right? So it can be innocent sometimes, gaslighting. So it's really important to understand what gaslighting means. So if it's a new concept to you, I suggest for you, Pile 1, to do your research on what that means. And maybe you can understand how you might be doing that in your life, or people around you are doing that, and what's causing confusion around you, right? When I think of this Gemini air energy, it is about the intellect. It's about studying. It's about deepening your sense of self, understanding your part of the story, and opening your heart up to being empathetic as well, is what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. There's this new beginning here once you end this conflict, right? There's a beautiful new beginning once you open up your heart. And yes, this takes strength. When I see the strength card, I think about our inner demons, right? I think about the integration of the shadow and the light self. And you're taking a deep, hard look in the mirror, Pile 1, at yourself. Who are you? Who do you want to surround yourself with? Do you want to surround yourself with conflict, with this 5 of Wands energy, burying yourself in the conflict? Or do you want to rise above it and have the strength to rise above it with this strength, Leo energy? Rise above. See all aspects of self. Understand all aspects of self. Right? I'm going to read a bit from the Dreams of Gaia deck and see what this card here represents for you. This is water energy. So what I'm sensing is that you have very much been in your head and your thoughts. And like I said, it's helping you understand what this gaslighting, this projection is to you, whether that's coming from you or an outside source. It's helping you understand that. But the way that you understand that conflict that's surrounding you at this time is by entering into this watery self and opening your heart. And again, that takes strength to do that, right? The balance between the heart and the mind is what I'm getting for you, Pile 1. And finding that lovely balance. Softening your exterior. With the strength card here, this can be kind of like resistance. I get off this card. So there is this sense of softening with this new beginning in the heart chakra. This is kind of right next to each other. So the way that I see it is like your heart is the gateway to the new beginning. So you really have to connect into your heart during the solar eclipse and let those emotions pour out to understand what it is you truly desire. Let's read from the book here and see what this beautiful energy is for you. We have a 4. 4 of water. Confidence, awareness. The 4 of water stands before you quite confidence, with quiet confidence and awareness. Despite his scarred appearance, he sees only beauty when he looks at his reflection. A gentle smile curves his lips as he regards himself with kindness and understanding. You are beautiful. Be aware of weaknesses, but focus on strengths. So the way that I'm directly seeing this now, if this is your story, is that, sorry about that, others might have gaslighted onto you, projected onto you, and told you, made you feel crazy, you know? And you're standing up for your beliefs, right? Your thoughts, what you believe in. And it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful to have confidence. Be aware of your weaknesses, right? Be aware of your strengths. He has many weaknesses, and during his lifetime has made many mistakes, and yet he chooses to see the lessons he has learned and forgive himself. So again, instead of projecting and gaslighting, because really all that is a protective mechanism, this is asking you, this solar eclipse energy for pile 1 is asking you to stop projecting or letting others project onto you. Understand the mistakes, understand the scars, only understand that they've made you stronger. Every mistake presents a learning opportunity to grow and to become wiser. So pile 1, you're taking a good hard look in the mirror at all of it, all those mistakes, and this is why you might be stuck in your head at this time. So my advice to you is to really focus on your heart chakra guided meditation I will provide in the link below for you, and also just grounding your energy, getting out in nature if you can. You know, you don't want to beat yourself up at this time, or allow others to tread on you. You have many strengths, right, to balance out your weaknesses. And it is these strengths on which you choose to focus at this time, pile 1. So focus on your strengths. Believe in yourself, okay? Do not let others belittle you or project their own inner conflict, right? This conflict onto you. Rise above this conflict and this gaslighting. Make that choice with the Lover's card to love yourself and admire yourself. And take a good hard look in the mirror at who you are and how you're showing up in this world, because we need you. Don't allow disappointment to erode yourself, right? Your self-belief, and close your heart off, right? Don't become jaded. All of your story is important, pile 1. Accept them all. Accept that you are imperfectly perfect, right? And learn those lessons. You are imperfectly perfect. Thank you for tuning in, pile 1. I wish you all the best. And if you want to go a bit deeper with me and get a little more medicine for this solar eclipse coming up, feel free to reach out to me. My link will be in the description box below for a private reading offers. I wish you the best, pile 1. All right, pile 2, welcome to your solar eclipse reading. New moon in Cancer, June 21st. like I mentioned, this is an intense time for most. We're figuring out who we are. What do we believe? How are we stepping into this new energy? New moons, we are setting intentions, but the power of the solar eclipse is accelerating that, right? It's transforming that, but we are needing to stay balanced and grounded within that. Learning, going over some of the lessons we've already learned, right? What lessons do we still have to learn? Maybe we're still stuck in some karmic cycles. So I hope that this pick a pile reading will assist you in this energy and just give you a little bit of extra guidance around this solar eclipse. So let's see here. We have the Queen of Water in reverse, the Two of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Queen of Fire. Okay, wow. Open heart, present, light at the end of the tunnel. Five of Water in reverse. We have Aries energy and Leo energy. Okay, so I'm definitely sensing tons of fire. So you might be dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You yourself might be one of those signs or have those placements in your chart. So let's look over these energies for pile 2. What guidance do we have for you, pile 2, for this solar eclipse energy, this major transformation? I'm looking at it as lots of transformative energy with this fiery energy here, but you have choose here, so you're stuck in between decision. This is decision time for you, pile 2. You really need to stay present right now. You have the stay present card. I'm getting pulled directly to this card right off the bat. A lot of us, like I said, with this intense energy that we've been witnessing and going through, even in May with all the retrogrades and everything that's happening on a global level, all this transformation, it's shaking us up, right? Our emotional bodies, our mental bodies, everything. And we really have to stay focused and grounded and take on that Saturn energy, stay disciplined, and take practical steps towards our growth, right? Our spiritual growth. So I really am sensing for you that you have this fire, you have this drive and this ambition around you, motivating you. It's powerful energy, but you have to stay present in the here and now. You can't get too caught up in timelines, looking too far ahead or too far in the past, right? You have the Two of Fire here in reverse and the Two of Air upright. So when I see that, I see stagnancy, like I said, around a decision. As you can see in the depiction in this card, this woman is holding two swords, swaying about with a blindfold on, flying aimlessly through the wind. I'm actually going to read from the book. I'm being drawn to read this card just to kind of start off this reading for you, pile 2, and get a sense of what it is that you're deciding at this time and why you might be feeling a bit stagnant and having trouble staying present. Okay? Blindfolded and unsure of what lies before them. An angel clings desperately to swords that may offer them protection. But in doing so, they put themselves in more danger as the swords drag them down. You have a decision to make, one that can't be put off for long. By not acting, you may have found a measure of peace, but it's a temporary solution at best. It's not letting you be true to yourself and will only end up making things worse in the long run. Instead, no matter how hard it may be, really consider the options before you and then make an informed choice, okay? I think of this air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So like I said, fire or air here, but this water, right? You have these two water cards kind of on the outskirts of this decision. The Two of Air is asking you to make an informed, practical, logical decision, right? Of course, it needs to be backed up by spirit with this fire energy, passion, desire, right? Lust for life. what drives you, what motivates you, but it also has to be practical. You can't be impulsive. And I say your emotions might be kind of pushing you into this indecision because the Queen of Water is in reverse here. When it's in reverse, this Queen is an emotional mess. So during this solar eclipse, pile 2, it's really about staying present, keeping your heart open. Open heart card came out for you. You see the rain clouds, the rainbows and the lightning, the polarity that we feel in our emotional body. And I'm really sensing that, this fire that's coming up within you, it's bringing up a lot of emotion. And that can look like anger, pile 2. So making sure that you're not making any sort of decision out of anger, lack, or fear. And if you feel like you cannot do that at this time, when you find this reading or around this period, June 21st, you need to wait, right? And also with all these retrogrades, we are being asked to slow down and plan and reassess and ease into things. There are new beginnings that come up. Life is always moving and changing and transforming, right? Sometimes we have to act quick with our decisions. But if you can, pile 2, what the cards are saying here is to make sure if you have to make a decision, to not do it out of anger, fear, or lack. Okay? Really sitting with your heart and your heart's desires. And if you have the time to make this decision, please do so for your emotional well-being. And I say this with the best intentions for you, because I myself have been in that position where you have to make a choice. And, it might have not been the best choice at the time, but you still learned. So even in any choice that you do make, your power of free will is always at play here, pile 2. This guidance is showing you, but you have the power of free will. So whatever choice you make is meant for you at that time. You will learn lessons, although they may be hard. They are lessons nonetheless, right? So staying present in that, staying current in the lessons you've already learned and what's got you here to this next choice in life, this next step up the ladder as I see it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for you, as long as you can stay out of the fog. And the way that I'm seeing it for you, pile 2, is anger, bitterness. When I see this fiery energy and this emotional energy that's kind of imbalanced here, I'm sensing that there's a lot of anger and bitterness and resentment around a potential relationship. This can be a coworker. You apply it to any area of your life. You know best. So really trying to stay present and stay open-hearted, empathetic, understanding your emotions and how they serve you. You experience anger usually because of grief. Sadness is below the surface. So really trying to get to the root of what is causing you to feel angry. And if that has to do with the world right now, just know that you're not alone in that. And trying to take a step out of that anger and really sitting with that sadness, because that's really what truly wants to be healed when you feel anger, right? And the last thing you want to do is go out into the world just projecting that anger out onto the world, because it usually just creates more. And we are needing peace, resolution, especially you for pile 2. I'm seeing that you have the strength to be that leader, to be that initiator, to be that, I see you as like this ringleader, kind of gathering and bringing people together and harnessing this divine energy. But you have to be emotionally balanced. You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of others, in order to make decisions, practical decisions in life. And the reason why you're stuck in between these decisions right now is because your heart is not in it. Your heart's not in the right place. You're maybe stuck in the past. You need to stay in the present moment and work solely on the present moment. What can you do today, right? Practical steps. That's also what this hard aspect to Saturn is with this solar eclipse. It's all about discipline. Practical, logical steps forward for you, pile 2. All right, so I'm going to read from the Dreams of Gaia deck this 5 of Water card, just so we can get a deeper look into your emotional body and what this card has to say for you. It came up in reverse. So this is kind of why I was saying, you know, with the Queen of Water in reverse and this watery 6 of Water in reverse, there's some emotional imbalance here. So in the description box below, I will provide a heart chakra guided meditation as well as a full channel of guided meditations for you to work on centering yourself. I'll provide several links for you. If you feel called to do so, I urge you to meditate, right? Take some time for yourself. It seems like you are a doer, a shaker, right? This fiery energy, you need to balance that, right? You need to find balance between the freedom and the restrictions of life and the limitations of life. Let's see here. 6 of Water. So upright, it's all about kindness and compassion, right? Empathy, open heart. This is the energy that you need to be stepping into. Kindness, concern for others, concern for all. When it's in reverse here, these are some of the lessons that it's asking of you. It's a very simple message for you, pile 2. It does not serve us well to give in to the desire to inflict hurt just because we believe someone to be deserving of it, right? That's that fiery energy, that anger, the bitterness, resentment. We may feel that we are justified, but what purpose does an act of spiteful retaliation serve but to make us less and perpetuate suffering? Like I said, you know, when you come out into the world with anger, you're only going to be met with more anger. Therefore, the 6 of Water comes to caution against embracing pettiness and retaliation, regardless of the circumstances. With the Saturn energy that we're experiencing around this solar eclipse, just know there will be repercussions for our actions. Saturn's all about karma, so making sure that you really are living in your integrity, balanced within your emotions. There was always a better option than to act out of spite. Remember, making that decision, do not make it out of anger. Anger used in this manner is rarely beneficial or healing. Instead, it perpetuates suffering. There are none who can remain untouched when cruelty is offered. Both the person who inflicts it and the person it is inflicted upon will be marked by it. If revenge is desired, the best revenge we can mete out to anyone who has hurt and upset us is to remain peaceful and emotionally detached. Okay? And what I can say here is, given the global situation, if this is registering with you and you are trying to serve in some way, just know that there is a better way. If you find yourself in this emotional wreckage, right? There is a better way to show up. Just know that. Because you can mean well, but you can do that in an intentional, practical way that actually creates change, pile 2. You can apply this to any aspect of your life. I hope these messages received you well. And if you wish to get any more further guidance around this reading or any aspect of your life, in the description box below, you can find all my personal information. You can book a private reading with me. And again, I will be providing those links for the guided meditations for you if you so wish. I wish you the best, pile 2. Welcome, welcome, pile 3, to your solar eclipse reading. New moon in Cancer. This is a global pivotal shift. We have been experiencing a lot of universal change, global change, all of 2020, as we all know, living and breathing on this earth. So welcome, pile 3. This will be your little scope out into the energies that you're going to be experiencing during this time. Questioning old habits, being inventive, fresh starts, initiation, right? But this comes with balance, like I spoke upon in the beginning of the reading. Freedom and restriction, right? Finding that balance, finding that discipline, knowing who you are. And hopefully these cards can help understand what kind of energies are around you at this time, pile 3. What are the lessons that you're learning during this solar eclipse? Let's take a look here. Let's feel into it together. Let's see what guidance the solar eclipse has for you. What lessons for you, pile 3? So I just wanted to start off when I was actually pre-shuffling and picking this pile, I felt tons of energy. And now that I see the cards, I can understand why. It's a very powerful pile, pile 3. We have this crown chakra that's kind of really screaming out to me, very spiritually aligned. Okay, open crown chakra. This is direct line to source, spirituality. So really, pile 3, it's important for you to really stay tapped in, tuned into spirit is what I'm getting. We have the moon card right below it, which is all about this kind of high priestess energy. Moon is Cancer energy. So you yourself might be a water sign. You might even be a Cancer. So this new moon in Cancer, you are going to feel that emotional body, right? Feel those emotions coming up. And with that Saturn aspect, it's all about balancing, right? Being disciplined within our emotions and our emotional body, and knowing how to act out our emotions in a healthy way, right? We don't want to repress them, but we also don't want to project or lash out onto other people. So there's a healthy way to show our emotions, right? And it's not always easy. And with this moon card here for you, pile 3, I'm sensing that you're discovering some emotions of yourself or another. Major transformation here. We got the Tower card smack dab in the middle. So yeah, like I said, when I was in the pre-shuffle for this pile, it feels like this is going to be a major time for you, just like all of us, but lots of transformation happening here. We have Mars and Mercury energy here. So Mars is Aries, Mercury is Virgo or Gemini. You might be dealing with or have these aspects in your chart. Mercury is all about communication. Mars is all about action. Okay? I'm actually going to read a bit more on these energies for you, just so we can kind of get a better understanding of what guidance we have for you, pile 3. So Mars, like I said, Aries, you might be in Aries yourself. But if you're not, it's really just about action, initiation. It's very powerful, driven energy, assertiveness. So asserting yourself. And when I see this connected to this Mercury energy, it's asserting yourself in communication, maybe opening up. It could be even just your direct line of communication to spirit. Like I said, you got the crown chakra here with the moon card. This is all about getting to know yourself, communicating with source, praying, meditating. This is a very powerful time for you to connect to spirit, pile 3. again, you have the throat chakra card here too, which is directly tied with this Mercury energy, all about communication. Mercury is all about the mind as well, right? The heart and the mind, connection, speaking your truth. You know, at this time, it might be hard for you to speak your truth, and you might be kind of going within and connecting with spirit. But with this Mars energy, I feel like around this time, around this tower moment that could have already happened or will be happening, there's going to be a lot of illumination. And I think that's going to propel you into this Mars action energy. But around this time, what I'm sensing, you know your direct storyline. This is a general reading. With the moon here, it's still kind of like you're in that process of discovering, communicating, opening up to spirit to understand things on a deeper level. And this movement with the Mars card is directly correlated with this direction here. You have the direction card, but it's in reverse. So you're at a standpoint. Right now, during the solar eclipse energy, you're deciding what direction you'd like to take, right? Which way's up, which way's down. And the way that you're going to find that is by connecting to source, connecting to spirit, whatever that may be for you, communicating. This could be through tarot. This could be through meditation, therapy, just journaling, right? Speaking it out to someone around you. Definitely lots of communication. Things need to become illuminated with this moon. And I think with this new moon energy, like I said, things might be coming directly through your crown, and you're very aware, right? But now it's just getting it out, speaking it out to the truth, to the world, what you are being downloaded with. There is this imbalance here with the Six of Earth. This is all about reciprocity, the give and take. And the depiction of this card, it's kind of like the underworld, as above, so below, is what I get from this card. And since it's in reverse, I'm feeling drawn to actually read from the book for you, pile 3, just because I feel like this will help you become a little more balanced and understand maybe what it is that's going to help you get through this tower moment, this transformation, to kind of build a steady, stable foundation, right? As you enter into this energy on the 21st and after. So even in death, a skeleton is unwilling to give up its treasure. It has no need for this now, as a living human digs for treasure but holds on regardless. Unless you ask, you can't know what someone needs most. Money may not help as much as a job. A grand gesture may not help as much as a sounding board for ideas. It's natural to want to give back when you see someone in need, to want to help those who have helped you in the past, to share some of your successes, positivity, and happiness with others. So this is all about sharing, right? And I do sense that you've kind of been in this internal process, but I'm feeling like there's going to be this transformation for you where you just kind of get it out there into the world. This give and take I see with this throat chakra, this communication. But like I said, you need to know what direction to take. You're having this confusion around this direction, and it's going to take you kind of going within to spirit, allowing this tower to crumble, to allow for a new steady foundation. So like I said, who are you? Maybe you're shedding old belief patterns, old ways of thinking, right? With this Mercury energy, old ideas of who you are. And I just realized that the candle went out. So that's interesting. As I said, old ideas of who you are and who your belief systems. It's like that light went out. It's like no more of that, right? shedding these layers, shedding these thoughts, shedding these relationships that no longer serve you, and speaking your truth. We're going to read here more on this card. This is air energy. 8 of air. The sword of truth here I see. Let's read on this energy and see how this ties with the rest of your reading. So 8 of air for you, pile 3. In the description box below, I am providing guided meditations to help with alignment, attunement, and balancing our chakras. And for you specifically, I would focus on your throat chakra and your crown, both. So in the description box below, you can find those links if you feel drawn to work on that medicine, work on healing your body. So you can step forth into the world as your authentic self, right? 8 of air, the truth. Wow, the truth. The truth shall set you free, pile 3. We are creatures driven by our egos. Our ego, right? So again, with the crown chakra, that's all about spirituality, right? That's not necessarily connected with ego. Ego is a part of us. But pile 3, really what I'm getting is this, like, it's like an ego death with this Tower card and this Moon card. It's like you're really breaking down those walls that the ego builds, and you're learning how to flow a little bit easier and more lightly through life, right? Our ego is in part our identity, the center of our consciousness. It is driven by our instincts and base desires. We can be so afraid of the truth that our ego will work hand in hand with our primal instincts and do what it can to protect us, right? It is a protective mechanism. If our ego is wounded, or we have been taught to fear, the defense mechanisms employed may also be detrimental to good health. So although our ego serves us, it protects us, especially if we've been through trauma. There comes a time when we need to work beyond our egos and grow. This is all about spiritual development for you, pile 3. Connecting to source, connecting to spirit. Spirit is asking you, or if not asking you, but is with you, pile 3. And you're not alone on this journey. You're not alone on this journey of shedding your ego, shedding these parts of you that were only there to help you feel safe, and they served their purpose. Our need to feel safe, to feel good, to be right, to be better, to be needed, to be loved, can result in the evidence at hand that reality is being distorted and shaped to fit our perception of events, so that what we want to believe is in conflict with fact. Time to change your ways, pile 3, right? This is a transformational time for you. It's really about ego death. Now that everything's tying together, this is death of ego, death of what no longer serves you and your beliefs. You don't want to have this cognitive dissonance within you. And what that means is, like, there's a part of you that knows. There's this deep spiritual part of you, pile 3, that knows. And you don't give yourself enough credit in that. You are a high vibrational being. You are a spiritual being, right? Living in this human body that is consumed by our ego, right? Like I said, it's a safety mechanism, but there comes a time when we have to break the mold, step out of that. And our ego is always going to be a part of us, but it's more about integrating with that. So in the description box below, I also will provide more information on ego death and what that means for you. If you're feeling driven to that, I highly urge you to do your research, look into what the ego is, and maybe certain things will click for you. And if it doesn't resonate necessarily for you, this could be someone that you are attached to during this time in a relationship, a coworker, a friendship. So take it as it resonates, but this is the main driving message for you, pile 3. So just be aware of that. A lot's going to be illuminated, lots of transformation, and balance will be restored with the 6 of Earth as long as you heed the calling and you open up your crown chakra and you allow spirit, you allow source to assist you, because it's already within you, but you need to just call forth that, right, through your crown, and speak that through your throat. And no longer will you be confused, because not only are you in balance with your ego, you've made friends with your ego, you understand your ego at a deeper level. You don't let it take over your life. You don't let it be in the driver's seat anymore. You let spirit be in the driver's seat, right? So that's the message that I have for you, pile 3. I wish you all the best, and any extra guidance that you need at this time, please take a look at the links in the description box below. And also you can find my personal information for a private reading if you'd like to go a bit deeper into what this means for you, or we can dive a bit deeper into any topic that you have at this time. I wish you all the best and much love. Bye-bye.